Oh, so is that the oil coming out of the Saildrives?
Yeah.
And Saildrives can only be serviced, obviously, out of the water. You can't, there's no
Some
doing
people
this.
seem to think you can drain it from the top, but you can never get to the bottom of the leg.
Yeah.
So you can either do it by removing the whole piece with the seals, or there is a drain plug underneath as well. If you want to just change the oil.
So this is all just draining out of the Saildrives all up through here into the engine bay.
How much more? Is that oil?
It is oil, yeah.
It looks like Harbortown water.
It does look a little bit like Harbortown water.
Harbortown water. When we were watching soccer.
Okay, let's see what's in here. And is this an annual thing, or should be?
Every time you anti-foul.
Oh, okay.
Every time you haul out, so it's usually 18 months or so. It also depends on if you're lucky or unlucky enough to pick up a fish line or something like that, because that'll get into the seals. Because as you see, seals, there's two seals in there.
Yep.
One faces out, one faces in. One's to keep the water out, the other one's to keep the oil in. But the minute a piece of line or something like that gets on here, it damages us and it allows the water in. And because the other one's opposing, it allows it past as well. The biggest problem with these is not the inner seal, it's the outer seal that gets damaged. Because very seldom do you have the oil going out to drive and just getting low. Usually that would be the input. It's always this one allowing the water in, and then it'll mix and the pressure build up and then push it back out again.
It's just external pressure that's pushing in?
Yeah. And especially you think about it when you reverse, your prop is pushing the water which way?
Yeah.
Pushing it straight in.
Basically sucking it in.
So you have two problems when people do this job. Number one is that over time you are going to get a groove worn there from the seals. The softer material always eats the harder material because the harder material can't flex. So the seals do eventually cut into the shaft.
Okay.
So that's one thing to keep an eye on, is that groove. Okay?
And over time, do you replace the shaft, or can
You
that be
replace the
turned and
shaft.
You have to,
Because if you turn the shaft down,
then you
got a
it's
seal
domino.
issue.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing people don't do, and I always get them, is when you do seals, is clean that all off. Because the seals, when you put them on, they've got to go over that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that, and that's why when they change, they do a Saildrive service, they end up taking water on straight away, because as they've pulled it over, they've damaged that lip of that seal.
And what kind of scraper you're using? Just like a little...
I just use the blunt end of a snap blade.
Oh,
Yeah, it takes it off nicely. If you use a sharp end, you can score, but the blunt end doesn't. The little marks there, does nothing. And you see there's a little taper, but you just want to clean what's past the taper. Make sure there's nothing that can grab the lips of the seals. That's the main thing. And then also, if you do this, just check your bearings for wear, for any burn marks or anything. The other thing you need to do is, before I put this on, you fill up between the seals with grease. Not only does it keep the seals fresh, but it also helps with the cooling between the seals, because you have nothing between them. So you've got oil on one side, water on the other side, and nothing between them. I like using the Quicksilver 24C. I've used it for years, and it's never let me down. Let grease be your friend if you ever do it. You know?
Grease is good.
Grease is good. You don't need to use a whole tube on it. But
Yanmar seals.
And Volvos is pretty much the same thing. Both Saildrives, the Yanmar, the SD60, the SD50, the 20 and the 25s, and the Volvo 130s and 150s are all made by an Italian company called ZF. There's too much water in
You
here.
got an adjustable?
Yeah.
We gotta get the shackle off where it's tied to the boat. That'll do it. Thank you.
So I'm assuming these are very basic props.
Yeah, they're basic. They do serve their purpose for the price. I mean,
Yeah,
you're looking
yep.
$500 a pop. Guys,
So what is this shaft going? What is it when this is turning? What is it going into?
so there's a little pinion gear here.
Awesome!
Now that goes straight up, and then it's got the clutch that takes it onto the engine.
Very cool.
Why is it
And then
so-
in this back piece is where your raw water intake is in.
So these have to stay clean.
Those have to stay clean. So whenever you dive down the boat, it's often good to take a little flat screwdriver and just
Clean them out.
clean them out. If ever you got to do this, when you put these back on, don't ever force it, because that'll also damage it. It should go in by hand, never a hammer. So take it, get it in, see, nice and smooth, and then in.
Nice.
The beauty about them, it's 2 bolts, 6mm Allen key, and you can change them in the water.
You can change them in the water.
These, we can change in the water.
I
Yeah.
pull the cone and the prop off.
No, you don't even need to
Oh,
take
the
the
two
top off.
pieces.
Yeah, this goes at the very end.
So these are 2 pieces. They slot in like that, and they go in like that. Got 1 Allen key and 1 Allen key.
That's easy. When you're motoring, you pick up an extra knot of speed, and you think, okay, well, that doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But here is the real life application of it. We're sailing with wind therapy. He's running at 2,200, 2,300 RPMs, which is exactly what we're running. I'm at, well now we're surged, so we were at like 6.5 and he's at 7.5. He's consistently 1 knot faster than we are. So in the real life application of this, if I want to keep up with them, I'm going to have to run at 2,500 RPMs, burning more fuel to keep up with the speed that he's doing. So it is true. People always say, oh, for the short haul distances, which is true, it's not that big of a deal. We would probably arrive 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe a little more behind them. Where it really matters and makes a really big deal, literally by a day or more, is when you start doing long offshore passages. If we were to sail down to the U.S. Virgin Islands, or we're going to sail to Bermuda, or certainly across to the Med, you're talking about a savings of a day or 2, or maybe even more, which is huge. So I don't know. We'll look into it. But clearly, it's true.
Yeah, because unless we have another boat that we can compare to, it's hard to justify. But now we've been doing this over and over again, and it justifies. Now we know for sure.
So to recap again on how these feathering props work. So this is in the propulsion mode. So this is when the props are at work. And then when they feather, they turn like that. So now they're slicing through the water. So there's no resistance, no drag. And then when you start the engines and put it in gear, these things immediately go into gear. So we'll test them today, but these are the max props.